Continuing the previous episode, the battle of three deities to determine the strongest gang in Tokyo still takes place. The battle between the legendary duo of the first-generation Black Dragon, Waka and Benkei versus Toranno still going on. As the two sides rushed towards each other, Toranno launched a punch at Waka. However, Waka dodged Toranno's punch. And at the same time, he lifted his leg, and landed a powerful kick on Toranno's head. And it didn't stop there. Waka quickly turned around and attacked Toranno with consecutive additional kicks. The Rokuhara gang members who saw that were shocked, after seeing Waka's fighting ability in mid-air. Benkei, who saw an opportunity to attack, he directly dealt a powerful punch to Toranno. Due to a strong blow from Benkei, Toranno was thrown far to the ground. After seeing their boss fall to the ground, the Rokuhara members were shocked as if they couldn't believe their boss lost so easily. And without a doubt, the combination and power of the duo legendary of Black Dragons are extremely strong. Waka with his insane agility, and Benkei with his Herculean strength. Meanwhile, still standing as a spectator, Coco said, "You good with this, Mikey? Seems like this battle is gonna end as Brahman's victory." Mikey replied, "Do you think so?" Huh? In this situation, Mikey looks apathetic and doesn't care about what's going on. Toranno, who was lying on the ground, slowly started to get up. And he said to Benkei and Waka, "At the age of 12, I had a man who I referred to as my father. I beat him to death, with all the love I had for him." Then Toranno showed his gunshot wound, and he said, "At 14, a raid on my home took my mother's life in the crossfire. I fought between life and death, with these scars. But I can't stop this urge. And to think that I'd be beaten by the likes of you? It makes my violent urges." While screaming, Toranno throws punches at Waka and Benkei over and over again. Due to getting a fierce attack from Toranno, Waka and Benkei fell to the ground. Looking up at the sky and enjoying the rain that fell on his body, Toranno said, "Thanks to these urges of mine, I've come to love violence. Mikey, you get me, don't you?" Takemichi and Akashi, who saw that they are stared horrified at Toranno's monstrous strength. After apologizing to Waka for interfering, not long after that, from behind, Senju shouted to call for Toranno. With her angry expression, Senju prepares to battle against Toranno. On the other hand, the battle leaves a few gang members still standing. With countless defeated gang members behind him, Kikucho reaches Mikey. Then Kikucho said, "I've finally caught up to you. Watching the whole thing from the sidelines. That is not like you, Mikey." Then Mikey said, "Thought I could just sit and watch. But here you are, Kikucho." Seen at that moment, Kikucho and Mikey had started to face each other. So, how will their battle going on? And on to the next stage of the great battle. Senju versus Toranno. Akashi, who saw his sister going to fight against Toranno, looked very worried. Akashi shouted and he tried to stop Senju. "It's too early for you to take on South. The three of us can handle this fight." Suddenly Senju shouted and told Takeomi to shut up. Then she said, "I never wanted the fight to go this way. But at this point, Brahman is done for." Senju runs straight towards Toranno. She jumps into the air and tries to attack him. However, her attack is thwarted by Toranno's punch, which throws her to the ground. As Senju slid to the ground, Akashi yelled out in worry, "That's enough, Senju. You're underestimating Waka and Benkei. There's no way you can win this fight." Takemichi, who is worried about what's going on, he said, "Akashi, what do you mean by that?" Akashi reveals that Senju got herself included in the three deities only through first-generation Black Dragon support. Senju can't take this fight alone. Takemichi, who just found out about it, he felt that something bad was going to happen. Akashi begs for Senju to stop. He's admitting that his temper was a mistake. I was wrong, Senju. I lost my cool. You don't have to do the same thing. Get out of there while you still can. But it was too late. Toranno, who was already close to Senju, was preparing to launch his final attack. Just as Toranno prepares his final blow, Senju opens her eyes. She jumps with incredible fury, and she realizes she has been suppressing her true potential. While dodging South's punch, Senju uses his forearm as leverage as she delivers a barrage of powerful kicks to his face. Due to the attack from Senju made Toranno fall to the ground. After Senju knocked Toranno down, in anger she declares herself as Brahman's boss. After seeing the potential true power of Kawaragi Senju, Akashi was surprised. And for a moment Akashi reminisced about his past, when the Black Dragon was the most powerful gang of that era. The first generation Black Dragon once ruled the nation, with me as the vice captain. I was feared since my decisions determined how any conflict would end. I was called the God of War. But I shouldn't be the one who gets all the credit. I've always been an ordinary kid. Whether it be in sports or studies, I was just average. I was but a normal child, not special at all. But my childhood friend, Sano Shinichiro, he had a mysterious charm that attracted people around him. Even with that charm, Shin never resorted to violence. He was just very earnest and kind. He didn't pick a fight with anyone stronger than him. Never won any fight. And top of it all, he was a crybaby. We'd call him the weak king. Even the people who fought him ended up liking him. Benkei and Waka both took a keen interest towards Shin. And I was always by Shin's side. Hey, let's make a team. Takeomi, you will be the vice president. And from that instant, I'd become the vice president of the largest gang in Japan. Drunk in the praises of my name, I became arrogant. One day, Shin suddenly decided to disband Black Dragon. Disband? But why? I mean, we just became Japan's #1. At that moment, with a smile, Shin said, "Now that there's no one better than us. At this point, it's just gonna be bullying the people weaker than us, wouldn't it?" However, with the large power and influence he gained from Black Dragon, Akashi continued on with the gang life. I was treated like a VIP in town. I never got short on money. As years went by, my influence faded away, yet I continued on with that life. And in 5 years, that lavish lifestyle came to an end. All I had was my debts piling up. At the rate my life was going, I was in danger. It was around that time that I got news of Shin's death. But I was too busy and struggling for money. 5 years later, in 2006, at the gym. At that place, Akashi met with Senju. Then Senju said to him, "The invincible Mikey from the Tokyo Manji gang. I wanna take him on. Therefore, I want to make a team of my own. Do you want to make a team?" Then Benkei said, "Your little sister's strength is not a joke." And Waka confirmed Benkei's words. "No one in my gym could win against her, you know?" And then Senju said, "I want someone who I can trust. Someone who can give some guidance to the team. Will you fill that role, big bro?" At that moment Akashi burst into tears after hearing Senju's words. I was broke and powerless. I was at the lowest of low. But they accepted me as I was. In return, I swore to give my all to them. In the middle of battle, Akashi cried, and knelt down. Then he said to Senju, "Senju, you've been holding back, haven't you? It's all my fault. I lost all my faith in you. I've failed Brahman's principles. I've lost your trust. Ever since we got Draken into Brahman." And then Senju denied those words. "Takeomi, you've got it all wrong. All of this isn't your fault. It's my responsibility. I was not able to stop you. I'm responsible for Draken's death too. I'm disappointed as Brahman's leader. So all I can do now is take this guy down." Just then, Tyranno rises, declaring his exhilaration. "It's been a while since I've gotten this fired up. The unmatched Kawaragi Senju. Alright, the battle between three deities has entered its final stage. The unmatched Kawaragi Senju versus the unparalleled Tyranno South will continue in the next episode. Until here this episode, what do you think? Give your opinion in the comments for the next episode. So don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss the latest videos from us. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoy and see you later.